welcome to another Cocktails with Collins. I'm Heather Donnelly, joined here with Rowdies head coach Neil Collins. We're out at the Don CeSar on St. Pete Beach, drinking some Don CeSar Bouvet, some delicious pink champagne. Cheers! And while we're out here relaxing on the spa terrace with this beautiful view, hopefully your players are also relaxing, getting a little bit of rest. You gave them a couple days off because you don't have a game this weekend?
Yeah, it was well deserved and long overdue. I think we've been very fortunate. We've had a great schedule, a good balance between on the road and being at home. But you look at a lot of other teams, they've had breaks throughout the season, and they've got a lot more games to maybe play than us. But I think our players are well in need of just a rest. They've put so much into it from day one pre-season. We've had a really intense schedule. We've demanded a lot, and they've risen to the demands more often than not. So they deserve a break. It was a shame we couldn't go off on a high, but that's the way it is, and they'll be ready to come back and put it right, I'm sure.
You're at the point now in the season where you're playing every team for a second time. How does that affect your approach? The fact that you may have them figured out a little bit more, but they also have your game plan figured out a little bit now.
Yeah, I think the surprise element's gone for some teams, but then you've got other teams, and we come up against Memphis in 2 games' time, and we played them in the very first game this season, and they're much changed from that point. They've signed 2 or 3 players. They've probably found their feet, and again, we've changed from that point. We've made a couple of changes, and definitely, I think, on the other hand, you get some teams that you play quite close together. Perhaps they had an off day and we had an on day, or vice versa. So there's lots of things to take into account, and there's no doubt that teams have certainly learned from the first game, and we'll have to adjust accordingly as well.
Yeah, 11 games left now in the season, so the season's definitely not over yet. A lot of soccer still left to be played, but it is kind of winding down. What do you think is the biggest challenge that you guys are going to face between now and the end of the regular season?
This was the last third of the season, and this is the most important part. They're all important, but now you come into the make or break. You're starting to really get yourself into position up till now, and now it's about cementing your position. Everyone's got something to play for at this stage in the season. Pretty much everyone's still got an opportunity at the playoffs, and that's where now it's make or break. But we'll try and do what we've done up to now, and that's perform. We know that if we perform well, our opportunities of winning go way up, and then it's just about the intricacies of every game and just doing the little things and the details, and that's where the players are fit enough now. We know that. It's just about getting the tactical details right, and again, the psychological element comes in at this stage of the season. It's a good pressure. When you're at the top of the table, it's a great pressure to have, and it's credit to the boys to put us in that position. So certainly beats the position we were in last year.
Premier League is back underway. I know your Blades, Sheffield United, are now in the Premier League. You got any predictions? How do you think they're going to do this year?
Well, it was great on Saturday morning to wake up and have a feast of games to watch, although my wife wasn't quite as happy as I was. Me and my son enjoyed watching Sheffield United, and Billy Sharp, who came to watch the Rowdies during the off-season for him, scored a last-minute equaliser, so that was good. And then it was also great to watch your fellow teammate make his debut for Manchester United, Harry Maguire, most expensive defender in the world. So that was, I made sure I sat down and watched him on Sunday, and he got off to a great start, winning 4-0 against Chelsea. So definitely a lot to watch, and definitely one of the most exciting leagues in the world, so I'm looking forward to watching some more.
Yeah, well, you mentioned watching the game with your son. Your kids are back in school now. Local kids are back in school. We asked this question to the players, so I'll ask it to you as well. What were you like when you were a kid in school?
Oh, that is a good question. I think I was diligent, regarding the school, but I also liked to laugh and probably talk too much. I think I've got a couple of report cards saying as much as that. One of them, I think my head was in the football field and not so much in the classroom, but I see a lot of myself in my oldest son, Patrick. He lacks concentration at times, and it's hard to tell him off too much because I know that I did the same thing. Well,
Coach, thank you for stopping by. Another Cocktails with Collins and enjoying some delicious Don CeSar Bouvet, and we'll see you next time on Cocktails with Collins. Thanks for watching.